Welcome to CoreCon today for December 21st, 2019. This is the show where I break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of CoreCon right now. And since it's Saturday, we take a look at the week gone by and some of the biggest stories that you had questions about. Now, this is my opinion. If you want to learn more about these stories, I'll put a link to each one down in the show notes so you can read them for yourself and come up with your own opinions. But if you're new here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It really does help us because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. And hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost of cable TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. Well, a lot has happened, but let's break down some of the biggest stories that happened in the last 24 hours first before we dive into the news from the past week. One of the big things that happened is AT&T's warning that if the Stella, which is the law that allows, basically, it's a lot about satellite TV service, a lot about TV in general, but it also basically forces local TV stations to be carried on things like DIRECTV and Dish. If you remember back to the early days of satellite TV, they didn't have local stations. They added it later. Well, AT&T's warning that that law is set to expire. It looks like it will expire at the end of this year. It's been replaced with some other laws that will have many of the same protections, but AT&T's warning that these protections don't necessarily include the mandate that they have to negotiate with satellite companies to offer their service there, that DIRECTV could lose local stations if this expires. Now, this is a fear that's been out there for a while. The negotiations about renewing this have been going back and forth. Now it looks like it won't be fully renewed, that some of these things are going to sunset. Some of that has to do with the changing world of TV right now, that maybe some of the same rules aren't needed as much as the growth of over-the-air TV, the growth of streaming services, cable, and more competes with satellite. So I'd love to know what you think. Is this something that concerns you? It could also mean the loss of locals on AT&T TV now because that contract's tied to DIRECTV. Now, there are contracts in place that will have to be honored. It's not like this will suddenly stop. When those contracts come up for renewal, this will likely make it a lot harder for AT&T to renew these contracts. I'd love to know what you think about that story. Check out the full details in the statement from AT&T down in the show notes. Leave us a comment. beIN Sports is launching an over-the-air TV network for sports. It's the beIN Sports Extra, which has been streaming for free on different platforms for a while now, is now going to launch in 15 markets as a free over-the-air TV network. Their press release calls it the very first live dedicated sports network over the air. But there's also Stadium, which is owned by Sinclair, streaming online and over the air in select markets. So I thought that was rather interesting, but I'd love to know what they thought. What makes them think that this is different than Stadium is the big thing for me. I'd love to know if you have any insight on why they would say they were the first to have an over-the-air TV network dedicated to sports, ignoring Stadium. But it will be launching in 15 markets, including San Francisco, Atlanta, Miami, San Diego, Salt Lake City, Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, Philadelphia, Chicago, Los Angeles, and more. So check out the full list of all the stations down below. We don't have all the channel numbers. They didn't publish like, oh, it's going to be on 4.2, for example. But it's coming. And this is great. This is one more way to watch sports and different things for free as a cord cutter without the need of a streaming service to use data or without the need of a cable TV subscription. Are you a beIN Sports fan? Have you checked out their extra service? It's on some different streaming platforms right now. Love to know what you think of it. All right, the other big news that happened is that the Weather Channel's new streaming service is now live. It is launching first on the Fire TV. More devices coming, and we have learned that Roku support will be coming in 2020 in the first week of February, according to Local Now. They're going to be rolling out the device supports like the Apple TV, Android, and more, with Roku getting it in February. But this allows you to watch not only your Local Now content for free through the Local Now app on the Fire TV, just need to update the existing app, and now movies and more on demand. So you can now watch content for free from the Weather Channel through the Local Now app. You can get local news, you can get local weather, and movies and television shows. Now, seems like the Weather Channel is trying to capitalize on their name to maybe try to drive up some more revenue by having ad dollars here. but it's one more free streaming service out there for cord cutters. That, you know me, free services don't cost you anything to install. You can put a ton of them on your Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and more. Load on up because it's a great option. Now, one correction, during the earlier video I said that in the past you had to have a cable subscriber to use the Local Now app. That used to be true until not that long ago. I think it was earlier this year, don't quote me exactly when this happened. You used to have to log in, but already on Roku and others you can access the Local Now content for free without the need for a cable subscription. The big difference here is the on-demand movies and television shows, that kind of stuff, that you can be able to watch through the Local Now app without needing a subscription or anything. It's all ad supported, very similar to Tubi, Crackle, the Roku channel, etc. But check it out. Let me know, have you tested out the new Local Now app on the Fire TV? You just need to update the existing one. Let us know what you think of it. Alright, jumping back to some stories from the past week to answer your questions about them. Starting off with Comcast planning to start selling $10 TV packages in 2020 to fight cord cutting. Comcast has got this big initiative for 2020 called Comcast Vision. We've been hearing about it from employees over at Comcast. And one of the things we learned this week was that Comcast would be offering a service called Comcast Choice, which will offer $10 to $20 TV packages that you can bundle and build your own thing. Now, you do need to be careful with this because you can find yourself paying more than the basic Comcast package because suddenly you bundled 10 of these together or whatever, and you're paying more than what the regular bundle will be. Comcast says that these are going to be targeted to customers who just want a couple channels. If you just want like news channels, you just want broadcast channels, or you just want something like that, entertainment package, they're hoping that this will draw you back rather than go to cord cutting. Now, the real hope from Comcast's point of view is that not only do you get the TV package, but you bundle internet, you bundle maybe wireless phone, home security, and more into these bundles. We'll see how this plays out. Sounds like January launch date. Not set in stone right now, but 2020 is the target date to get this launched sooner than later. But don't expect it January 1st, just to be honest with you. A lot of people are asking, when is this going to come? I suspect it will come in January, but not necessarily January 1st, or maybe even the first week of January. Probably come later on, could be delayed into February. These things have a way of happening that way. I'm interested in this. This is definitely a move outside of Comcast's comfort zone. What I'm mostly interested about is the hope that we could take this new package and now force streaming services. How long until we see Hulu, YouTube, Sling start trying to compete in the $10 to $20 range? We've already heard from Disney that they're looking at offering smaller live TV packages for Hulu. Google reportedly is also looking at the same thing. We've seen their surveys they've sent out to customers talking about these smaller packages. So leave me a comment, let me know what you think of those. Would that entice you back? Is there anything Comcast could do to get you back? Would a $10 TV package, if it offered what you want, be that or not? I don't know. I'd love to hear from you. I need to hear your thoughts on this. Let me know. But those are the questions I got asked most often. I want to answer them. Next up is the report from eMarketer that ran in Bloomberg that showed that Roku is the most popular streaming player in the United States. Had a lot of people, even though I kind of talked about this a little bit, say Luke, but Amazon says they have more active accounts. This is looking at a couple things. A, devices sold, not accounts, and two, only in the United States. Now, Amazon, for example, sells in India where Roku doesn't. Roku sells in Central America where Amazon doesn't, in some areas down there. So we're just going to look at the United States, and according to eMarketer, Roku's got a sizable lead, and they predict that in 2023, Roku will maintain that lead. What I thought was most interesting, and there really wasn't a lot to talk about, and I wanted to bring it up to you, the viewers here, was the fact that the Apple TV is predicted to see very minor growth, if any, between now and 2023. eMarketer doesn't seem very positive on the future of the Apple TV. So I'd love to know from you, what are your thoughts about the Apple TV? What are your thoughts about the future of the Apple TV? A lot of people who have it love it. A lot of people who have it hate that remote. I'm a little drawn on this. Apple doesn't seem to be paying a lot of attention to it. And with them bringing the Apple TV app to the Fire TV, Roku, and more, does make you wonder how serious they are. There were a lot of talk about Apple launching a cheaper version of Apple TV. That never came to be, but that doesn't mean the service is dead. I would love to see Apple try to hit a $100 price point. I think that could really propel Apple forward in the market, help them gain market share. Short of that, I think it's a real struggle. You know, I can buy 2 Roku Ultras right now on their sale price easily for cheaper than an Apple TV. I can buy 4 Roku Stick Pluses compared to 1 high-end Apple TV 4K. So when cord cutting is a lot about saving money, dropping $150 to $200 for an Apple TV is a hard sell for many people. And I wouldn't expect that to be a common issue. Now, people absolutely love Apple, and there's a lot of people sold into the Apple ecosystem, but with Apple TV and Roku, Fire TV, and more, that may make it a lot easier for them to do that because they can still get that Apple ecosystem on their non-Apple device. So give me your comments. Let me know, what do you think about the future of the Apple TV? I'll love to hear from you. All right, next up is VidGo. Last story up of the day. VidGo did launch this week and had a lot of questions about it. It's a new live TV streaming service. It starts at $39.99 for 60 channels. Does have a higher end package. ESPN's, NFL networks, a lot of the sports leagues, the SEC network, Pac-12, Big Ten networks. Great for college sports and NFL. If you have an antenna, because it doesn't have CBS. But people are asking about DVR. VidGo has confirmed that DVR support will be coming sometime in the next 60 days, so probably early 2020, with a 72-hour rewind that they're working on adding. This is kind of something they talked about coming. There's more and more features they plan to be adding. But VidGo will be getting a DVR for your TV. So love to know, have you tested out the new VidGo there? I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about it? It's definitely missing some channels here and there that people want. They definitely seem to be moving towards the sports fans, though. Hey, if you're a college sports fan, we got your ESPN, your Fox Sports, your Big Ten, Pac-12, SEC network, and more right there. Add in an antenna for CBS and more. That's great. They have a good number of locals. A lot of people are asking about adding more locals. VidGo has said they are in the process of adding additional networks. They have the owned and operated ones. They'll be adding the affiliate, Fox's, ABC's, etc. Soon. No exact timeline of when that will happen, though. So I'd love to know, what do you think? Have you tested this out? I'd love to hear from you. Leave me a comment. Well, that's it for today. I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. I know everybody's busy with Christmas parties and decorations and wrapping and cooking and baking. So thank you so much for taking time out of your busy weekend to watch these videos. I really appreciate it. Cannot believe the growth. When I'm recording this, we're almost at 133,000. Maybe we've already hit that by the time this goes live. Thank you. Never in my wildest dreams did I think we would be this big. At the start of this year, I thought maybe in 2020 we'll hit 100,000 subscribers. You have helped push us way past my wildest expectations there. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you may celebrate. I hope you all have a fantastic time. Thank you for your support. Hang in here. We're going to be here for the next couple weeks, with the exception of maybe Christmas. No podcast this week, no Q&A this week, because Christmas is on Wednesday when we typically do the Q&As. But we'll be right here on our YouTube channel covering some of the biggest stories in the world of cord cutting. And we'll be right here all week next week, helping you break free from the high-cost cable TV. So take care, everybody. Be safe. Thank you for your support. I'm very humbled. Thanks, everybody.